You got it. All right, Jay, you're up next, buddy. Jay, and is Amanda on, or are we going to go with you?
Amanda's got the COVIDs, so she's all good. Everyone's fine, but you get just me for today. So,
hi, buddy.
What do you want to do? What do you want to talk about?
I think we stick to our original topic because I've already had a few questions in the chat about optimizing Chime for brokerages, and I mean, while you're at it, teams too, right? So,
yep. Yeah. So you want me to give a quick
hold on. Oh, because I've got to give you props for your amazing background, dude. This is insane. If you've set up Chime, like you've set up your background, then I'm impressed.
Well, we've been around a while. And so, it's a quick intro. I am not a real estate agent. I'm a biz guy. So for a lot of you that are, real estate agents, you're brokers, hats off and respect to you. I'm the biz dev guy. So my partner, Amanda Alejandro, and the team behind that, they're the ones that do the deals all day long. So I'm essentially the one that, sorted out who should we be on, what's the ERP, what's the CRM, how we're going to manage this, and then really helping building the philosophy behind it. So Realty Shop is a subsidiary of one of my other companies, View, and we have gone from essentially a small startup with I think there was 3 agents back in 2018. We're right around 50 today. We did over 110 million last year. That we were the second largest office in the state of Missouri.
Whoa.
So. Our production by agent was multiples over any other office there based on size. And the way we accomplish this, and Tristan, you've had me on a number of times, and I love talking about this, is we have a very, very different philosophy of kind of how we operate. And Chime is kind of that engine that ties it all together. So exactly as Joe was saying early, the collaboration, the tools and coordination and collaboration is key. So we have a combination of W-2, so full-time employee agents, as well as traditional 1099 agents. The biggest thing that makes us work, and the fact that we can go so fast and so quick, is 100% of our employees and our 1099s are in Chime. There is no outside systems. There is no lone wolf. Everyone has we all use the exact same systems, tools, resources, but also branding as well. There is no Susie sells real estate over here and Billy Bob's, real estate barn over there. We are unified. We come across as a unified platform. And again, we develop all of our systems, processes, and resources for that purpose. We've talked about kind of little of our alpha, delta, omega, how we operate each deal. So every real estate transaction from, a $50,000 apartment up to, a $5 million luxury home and up to, $50 million commercial deals that we do, will have a minimum of five bodies touching that. And all of that is coordinated inside of Chime. So no one works outside of Chime. So every single phone call, every single text message, every single email is all coordinated and flows through a very specific process that we've developed over the last 3 years. And the clients don't even see it. It's seamless to them, but there's so many bodies touching it and we're able to flow through so quickly that's how we've hacked growth, is essentially utilizing technology and some really basic just collaboration protocols.
All right. So how do you get everybody that's part of the team that joins the team to have the buy-in? Because I have that. I've seen that challenge with some brokerages and some teams.
So there's going to have to be a philosophy. And I think for any of you that are looking at growing your team or starting a brokerage or whatever the case is, there's going to be some trade-offs. First off, you have to establish your mission, your vision, and your values. You have to have your North Star. Where are you going? How are you going to do it? And what are you going to accomplish? And then you're going to have to decide who can get on that boat with you. Who's going to value those and value the team, value the company, and value the mission over individuality. We have a very easy saying: egos are left at the door. We only bring on, and again, we only bring on either W-2 or 1099s, maybe 1 out of 10. So 10% of the people that apply to work with us are actually brought on board, regardless of production, regardless of history in the industry. We focus on either we are a collaborative team or there's a million brokerages that are better off somewhere else, and we're not cheap.
So what are you looking for specifically when people are jumping into the team or the brokerage?
Yeah. So first off, it starts with full-time. like this is their career. This is where they want to grow their career. And certainly we have people that are starting off part-time that are going to be transitioning to full-time, but we don't do, we're not interested in, selling 1 or 2 homes a year. We're not here to collect fees. We're the exact opposite of a flat fee brokerage. So we've exactly, kind of bucked that. I'd also say that 90 to 95% of all the agents' leads come from us. We spend a couple $1 million a year on marketing from a single source or from multiple sources, but coming through us. So, and we feed all those through Chime. We use essentially kind of a manager protocol. So there's a manager that will assign every lead, go through it, oversees it. So even though you have kind of the alpha, which is that initial phone call, integration, getting them to sign agency, Delta is kind of what that more traditional like real estate agent showing the homes, selling the homes. And then Omega, which is kind of all the closing documents, which is generally a lawyer or a transaction coordinator. So they're overseeing the seamless transaction there and assigning those leads. And as every one of you knows, sometimes you don't have, a client and an agent just don't mix. And that can happen at any part of that transaction. So it can happen in, Alpha, Delta, Omega, where there's people aren't getting along. They're not seeing eye to eye, or it's just not a fit. The manager's there to see that, measure it. And again, through some of the AI that Chime has, we can see disengagement happening, and it's perfect time to check in with the client. What's going on? What's right? What's wrong? We're not hearing from you as normal. Oh, I'm just, Susie's not, we're just not communicating. We can swap out seamlessly that agent and provide that 5-star experience to the client.
All right, Jay, I got a couple of questions. First of all, I have some fans, so they love you. So I'm getting texts.
Good.
Right? They don't always come through here. I'm getting texts. I've got a question from Mike. If you don't mind me asking, what salary and benefits do you offer your W-2s? Because that I think is a question we don't get answered enough.
Yeah. So remember, we're in Missouri. So, I know that everyone wants to kind of go at a standard pace, but, cost of living here is slightly less than where you're at right now, Tristan, for Malibu. So I'd say that, we have essentially a base pay that we will provide as well as benefits. And then the rest of it's really is commission. So it's essentially a draw against commission. And that provides a few things. Number one, as you guys know, there's sometimes feast and famine. In the real estate game, you're doing great. You got a bunch of closings, and then you can go months with nothing. And I think a lot of people that would like to transition from the corporate world. And again, I didn't really talk about this, but I would say probably 50% of our agents right now, probably close to that, we put through real estate school on our own. Meaning that we have trained them, we have trained them in how we operate. And again, nothing to say we don't want seasoned real estate agents. It's really hard to retrain the brain and the mindset to have that distributed program that we do. So I don't have a dollar figure I can throw out there. It's a little bit different. I'd say when we're bringing on the W-2, we're going to look at them as individuals. But essentially it's a low base that makes sure they can cover their mortgage, their payments, whatever they need. But then they still get the upside of the commission that they're going to get, to have those bonuses throughout the year.
Dude, I like that a lot. Thank you for explaining that. All right. So when people jump into your organization and you show them, okay, you're going to use Chime for everything, right? Yep. Are there some things or some tech tools that you work in with Chime? So I know Chime doesn't have everything. So what are those tools?
Yeah. So we've got there's a total of about 17 systems that right now make up our ecosystem. Okay. Now,
what are the main ones that you use consistently?
So I will say that we email is going to be one. We run our own email. We run our own Exchange server, and nothing wrong with Google, nothing wrong with Microsoft. But again, how we integrate and the way we need to be able to plug in and out of things. We're very tech heavy, and that's me from my former CIO world. So the main ones you're going to have is Chime. You're going to have, again, we're using we've moved over to kind of a third party, web hosting. It's still integrating Chime. We still, absolutely need the CMS and what's there. But we're kind of trying to work around the limitations of the CMS right now. So we're operating there. We do a lot of bots. I will say that there's, probably about 100 different Zapier bots that are running at any given time to kind of feed different data feeds around to us. And you and I talked, I think, a couple months ago that we've migrated over, and majority of our intercompany conversations are now on Discord. We're not on Slack. We're not on text message, but we're actually over here on Discord. And you and I talked about that.
I know why you went to Discord, though. I know why you went to because.
Well, yeah, I'm a Web3 guy, so I got to be over there anyway. But but what that allows, and I think the Discord is a very interesting one, and you can use Slack, you can use a number of things. We've taken certain data feeds that were either emails or just hidden in the background, as leads flow in, and we're able to watch these in real time. We're able to let the agents see in real time. So we have a very large phone system. I'm happy to share. It's called Call Tracking Metrics. None of you are going to want to use it because it's insanely complicated, and there's much easier ones out there. But we're able to take that system and integrate it in with Chime, with our email system, with the front end of our CMS, and a number of other tools. And display that in a very, very clear way for the agents and see, here's the calls that are coming in, here's who to answer them, here's the calls that were missed, here's who was supposed to be on that call queue that they should have answered. So I mean, again, you guys know it's speed to lead. We don't believe in voicemails, should never happen, so they don't exist. And that means that people have to be answering the phone.
Perfect. And then I just put up Discord there too, so people know what it is.
Yes. If you've got a 12-year-old in the house, they absolutely can train you how to use it.
Dude, my son, 10 years old.
Yeah.
He's like, Dad, aren't you on Discord? I'm like,
yeah.
All right. Yeah. Show me.
My son is, I have a 14-year-old. He just hits ignore. I'm like, hey dude, how you doing? Nope.
Well, that's good. All right. A couple of questions though. We want to get some more details as far as you said you were drawing from the commission. Can you explain how that works?
Yeah. So, I mean, listen, I would love to drag Erin over here, but it's, we got a bunch of snow, so she's not in the office today. So draw against commission is essentially you're going to have a, you've got your base salary. So let's just say for argument's sake, it's $100,000, and that's going to be broken up over, all your pay periods throughout the year. So every other week or bi-monthly or whatever the case is. And then essentially, if you have someone that has not had any closings, let's say for 2 or 3 months, but they've been receiving their commission, they're going to be in the hole. So as the commissions start rolling in, you're going to, again, based on your employment documents and everything else, they're going to start having to rebuild back up to get to that base with you. Now they've had the benefit of obviously, receiving regular pay so they can live their lives. But then as closings continue and it starts to outpace their draw, then they're going to get those bonuses. They're going to be coming in, and so they get above their draws. Does that help at all?
Dude, it totally does. Thank you.
Yeah. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. You get consistent pay, but you still absolutely get the benefit of the commission structure. The biggest thing I can say to every one of you guys right now, and Tristan, you've done a fabulous job of building a community, and that's what you're going to have to build for your teams. You're going to have to build a community. You're going to have buy-in. You're going to have to understand, and people need to understand why they're doing what they're doing. I think that's one of the biggest things that gets missed a lot of times is you have you as the visionary. If you're the team lead, if you're the broker, if you're running this company, you have to have regular meetings. We sync up twice a week minimum. And you got to remember, you guys as real estate agents, you're in your car, you're everywhere. The technology that's available today, Zoom or Discord has built-in video features and everything else. That's something that just should be built into your culture. So every Tuesday, we're all in the office. If we're not in the office for a variety of reasons, like snow this week or whatever, or COVID or any issues, we're on Zoom. And when we say we're on Zoom, it's the same as any other meeting, meaning that your cameras are on, you're in a distraction-free environment, and we're going to go through a 2-hour meeting minimum, as well as making sure that we have collaboration and we sync up. The other side of what we do is we do that again for about an hour on Fridays. Fridays, as you guys know, you're prepping for game day. It's the weekend. You've got showings, you've got listings, you got all sorts of things you need to do. Every single person, again, in our entire company, not just agents, the entire company, the support staff and everyone around them is going to get on Zoom for about an hour. And we're going to talk about what each person's doing, what's their availability, who they're showing and what they are. And I can tell you 100% of the time, that is where we catch the misses. That is where we catch I'm supposed to be in 2 places at once, or I didn't realize that I was supposed to be here, but I'm actually supposed to be here. Those are the types of things that no matter how much technology you need to do, there's just that face time that's needed.
Dude, Very, very, very well said. What other tech stack are you currently using besides Discord? This way you can confuse more people. Go.
Yeah, no, I can absolutely. I would say that we use Trello kind of lightly for some project collaboration. I don't love it. If you want to know the funniest thing that we use, and it's not a tech stack for just project coordination, is just sticky notes. Like these things are all over our desks. They're all over everywhere. Making sure that other people know what you're doing and why you're doing it. Again, I'm just going to go back to key. There's a lot of people that work in isolation, and that's just how they are. But if your team doesn't know what you're working on and why you're working on it, they can't help you. They can't alter it. And so by the time you go to deploy any tech stack, if you say, hey, here's this, if you don't have the buy-in and everyone has the understanding, it doesn't matter what technology you deploy. I can go through and make a list, and you guys can post it on your site or post it in the chat afterwards.
Dude, that would be a great post in the Chime community as well.
Yeah. And I'm sure some of you guys have some great solutions to things to add on, but one of the reasons that we did choose Chime is because they have an open API. Without that API, and working in a closed system, we wouldn't be able to do anything that we want to do out there.
All right. What are you working on next? Like what's next for your team / brokerage? What are you excited about?
Yeah. So we are a little bit different. Again, I come from, Holding Co. over and above, which is my company, View Enterprises. So we have Realty Shop, which is our residential commercial real estate brokerage. We have Realty Shots, which is our residential commercial marketing agency. We do all the 3D scans and photography, video, everything else. We have Realty Ready, which is an acquisition flipping company. We're moving into a lot of the mortgage, title, and insurance space. We understand, very clearly kind of where the brokerage of the future is going, and you have to get really, really good at what you're doing. I think title is one of those things that, every one of us, we can be perfect. You can do everything perfect in your sale, and title can screw you at the last second. And that's a real challenge that we deal with. And it's one of those things that there's some amazing agents out there, and there's amazing whatevers. But we're really looking very hard at how to integrate that more closely into Chime, into our teams, and into our technology stack per se.
All right. I have a question here for you. This is just personal. Okay. This is like, if it was just one-on-one, even though we've got, 500 people on.
Yeah. Nice.
I keep on seeing teams and brokerages kind of react to wanting to grow their ancillary products like escrow, title, lender, all that. And that's cool. I think that just a lot of them do it because like, oh, this company went public. Let's all go public. Why didn't we go public? Right? Very reactionary. What do you think is something that isn't being done that you're like, you know what? This is something that needs to be done. And I'm shooting for that because I'm tired of seeing everybody follow everybody else.
Yeah. FOMO is a real thing, fear of missing out, fear of, I saw so-and-so do it. I think I can do this. I can say that the reason that we are the size that we are and the speed of which the company grows is because we invest very heavily in the top end. You're talking about, a team of about 45 agents that's overseen by, we have a CEO, myself, we have a president, we have a COO, chief of operation, we have a director of HR. We have an on-staff broker and lawyer to manage all these things. We have a dedicated bookkeeper, on multiple on-staff transaction coordinators, as well as executive and office assistants. And again, that rolls into, again, we have our own marketing agency. So I think one of the, to kind of, I'm jumping around the bush a little bit here, but I think before you can even think about doing anything else, you need to understand very clearly what you're losing when you add another product or service. If you want to add that other title, and it's very easy to say, I want to do this, or I saw so do that. Do you actually, are you so deep in what you're doing now that you have the extra capacity to bring on an entire other industry? And I can say from experience, most of you won't. And we, in fact, as we're talking about, something as simple as title, we're spending $1 million+ ramping up before we'll ever process a single file on that.
Dude, I love that answer. Thank you. You know what? That just shows to me that we need to focus on just the core of the team, the brokerage, instead of being having the feeling of, like you said, like FOMO. It's like, oh, they're doing that. Oh, why don't I look at creating that?
Yeah,
right?
listen, I think Tristan, you and then there's people on this call. There's people out there that are, they're their own agent, they're their own broker, they're doing this, and these people are on a boat every weekend. They're enjoying their life. They're having a great time. They're working, 20 hours a week, and they're having more free time than I could even dream of right now. And so you really have to understand. And so the point is, what is winning? How to define what winning is a real nebulous thought, because some people just, they want to be busy for the sake of being busy, but they don't understand the ROI. So I've said this before on the show quite often is don't do anything unless you've clearly spreadsheeted this out, you've done your due diligence, and you've talked to 2 or 3 other industry experts to understand what you're getting into. Because the problem is rolling out something for the sake of saying I'm doing something. And we're seeing a lot of that in the industry. We're seeing a lot of really bad technology rolling out. And I've seen a few people right now saying, oh, blockchain title and metaverse stuff. That's where I spend most of my time nowadays. And I'll say that 99% of the technology I'm seeing coming out of there is garbage. It's never going to go anywhere. And it's a lot of wasted time, because we're just the oversight isn't there yet. The technology is not there yet. And so, when you're talking about, I want to integrate title, I want to integrate these other things, what's your ROI? Where are you going to actually make money at this? And you're just doing it just to say you did it.
That's a really good point. I love it. All right. Well, I think you're going to get a lot of people here joining Discord. So good job on that. And I'd love to have you on again. So, and you're always on our webinars for Chime inside of the community. So I'm going to ask for your org chart. I don't know if you ever give that out. If you do, post it into the Chime community. If not,
yeah, I mean, org charts, a standard. Like I said, I'm that evil corporate CEO guy that everyone wants to say has no value in the world. So yeah, it's just very standard. I mean, it needs to be broken down. Everyone needs to know what the hierarchy is. I don't believe in, kind of everyone is an equal and all the chaos there. Team is team, but at the end of the day, like, we're here to provide a 5-star experience to our clients. And in our world, remember, there's 2 clients. There's the buyers and sellers of homes, and then there's the real estate agents themselves, because they are the clients. And so we have to attract talent, we have to retain talent, and then in our world, we're developing the talent to put it in that pool ourselves. I'd say right now we probably have over a dozen agents right now in real estate school that have never sold a home before, but we're investing in them to get them on our team. So it takes us a little longer to ramp up.
I love it, dude. Well, thank you for being on. Thank you. We appreciate you, and we'll have you on again. So,
hey, anytime, sir. Be good. Stay warm.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you.